Oh, hold on. Oh, chilling in the icebox. We got a lot to say. Chilling in the icebox. We all came to play. Welcome, everybody. We are here for another episode with just Maddie and myself this time. Coach Maddie, Coach Laura, and we're here to talk about, we'll get to that. We're going to have a 10 sex.
Okay, wait. 10 secs.
We just jumped right in, huh? We
Yeah, we
just
sure
dove.
did. I'm gonna edit this breakout. I need a good second to think about my 10 secs. You know what you're gonna say?
No. I have nothing going on. So
Shit.
boring. Okay.
Okay,
Mm.
what are you having for dinner tonight? Let's do 10 secs that way.
Oh, okay, 10 secs for dinner. We are switching it up and doing 10 secs for dinner. So, 10 secs dinner edition. Um, Chef Dennis is making us some salmon.
Ooh,
Probably I like to eat all the colors. So I like to if we eat like potatoes, I'll have like something green. So like maybe
yeah.
like broccoli or green beans. I don't know what his sides are. Um, I ate a lot of fat earlier today. I had like a bunch of cheese on my
Ooh.
chicken and broccoli today because I was like
Oh, that's good though.
really craving it. So there goes my salad dressing. So now I have to have like just like vegetables. And also salmon is kind of high in fat, but I'm gonna eat
But
it anyways
good. Yeah, salmon
because
is the best.
and Dennis makes it really good. So we're gonna eat that. What are you gonna eat for dinner?
Well, I was supposed to go out for like vegan Italian food, which my little sister said sounded like sacrilege. But that place was closed. So like, wait, let me tell you what I'm gonna have for dinner. Oh, bao? Isn't is
What's
that like
that?
isn't it like a dumpling style Asian dish, I think?
What?
I think.
I've never had it, but I always wanted to.
Yeah, I don't know if I've had it either,
The
but
little
I
things
like
with like the
trying new food.
twist on it.
I
They like,
think. I
yeah,
think.
okay, okay, okay.
Maybe
And
I
they
sound
have
like an
the little
idiot.
like, no, they have the little cartoon of it on like Disney,
Yes,
where like she eats him because it's like her son.
I think
Is
so.
that it? Yeah, I think that
I
is.
think that's what it
And
is. We'll
it's
see.
about BAO, right?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's it.
Okay.
I've never had it, but I do always want to try it.
I don't think I've had it either, but this is gonna be I don't know if it's vegan. But anyway, if I remember, I'll take a little video of my bow and I'll overlay it right
Oh,
here so our audience can see the bow
wow.
experience.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
fun
it's a
though.
rare
That's cool.
occasion that I'm not eating at home. Usually I would be eating chili for dinner. That's
Oh,
all I'm
yeah.
eating.
I have a bunch of elk meat, so maybe this weekend I'll
Oh,
make some elk chili from our newsletter.
yes, that would be so good. Wow.
Um, yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do this weekend. That's a
That would
great
be
idea.
so good. And in the snow, that's gonna be so good.
Yeah,
It's
it's not snowing anymore, but it is freaking cold.
yeah.
It's cold. It is really cold. Yeah.
Are you glad you have your
So,
heater in your gym?
oh, yeah, except it goes out all the time because I don't know what I'm doing with it sometimes. My dad has to always come and help me.
The learning process.
He always like gets mad and I'm like, Dad, I'm just little. Like, please, please don't get mad at me.
I
Sometimes I'm like, am I really an idiot?
know.
Like,
Me
do I
too.
not know what I'm doing? I don't know. I sometimes I'm like, wow, I really
I
must not
know.
know what's going on in this world
How
because,
did I get this far is what I'd like to know.
and I like to think that I like never like when I was like before Dennis, I never like depended on like I could do a bunch of stuff by myself. And today I was
Oh,
moving some mats to like so the outside of because it's been snowing, so like the grass is like super wet, like
right.
kind of dirty and whatever. So I wanted to move these like mats. Um, they're just like rubber mats with like holes, and my dad has a
Oh
bunch of them
yeah.
for some reason. I don't know why. So I wanted to move them to like in front of my gym, so when
Right.
people walk, it
Wipe
doesn't
their
get like.
feet. Yeah.
hmm And so today I'm like moving them, and I'm like moving two at a time. Like they're big mats. I'm like moving them, like carrying them to the car. And I'm like, God, I wish Dennis would just come out here and help me. Like, and then I was like,
Mm.
wow, that's not a strong, independent woman.
I know, but it's because, like, you're used to it now, like, you're as you should be, very
Conditioned.
spoiled by, a
Dennis.
loving man who's gonna do all that heavy lifting for you. I couldn't even, like, believe my life when after the competition, Joel and Blade were, like, carrying my things. I was like, "Yes, carry those things. It's g get
Girl,
used
you
to
know, and
this."
me, carry me too while you're
Yeah,
at it.
yeah.
Yeah. Um, I had a little snacky snack of beef jerky.
Ooh, I have some sparkling water. It's my
I
snack.
have that too. Anyway,
I like
okay.
that cup.
I got it during the summertime. It's a Starbucks cup.
Yeah, that's cute.
My favorite color, green.
It's so Christmassy.
I know. Green is an all season color.
It is.
Um, okay. So I thought it would be fun if we talked about just stuff from our childhood. Um, it's kind of a funny topic because I look back and I'm like, wow, just as a kid, you just have a whole different perspective on the world, like,
Yeah, it's true.
and how small you think it is. And in
Yeah.
reality, it's this big giant thing. But okay, so my first thing, when you were when you were younger, if you like looked around your classroom, what was like the thing that like if somebody had, you were like, "Oh my gosh, they're rich."
Okay, so, like, I just remember thinking I don't remember if it was, like, something I was conscious of, like, just in, like, kids in class, but I know that, like, if I went to a friend's house and they had a two-story house, I was like, "Oh my god,
They made
this
it.
is luxury." Yeah. And even more than that, if their parents were divorced and they had 2 houses, I was like, "This is living."
Well, that's great. Oh my gosh, that's great.
I know. Isn't that
Wow.
wild? I know.
Wow.
Yeah,
I'm shook. That
I
was
know.
good.
I know, and growing up, like, when we were, like, little, I had our, like, really good friend Jordan, and she had, um, a bedroom that was, like, it was, like, a room, and then it had, like, a little arc doorway, and it was, like, another room, so she had, like, her bed and, like, her bookshelves and, like, one side, and then she had, like, her little desk and her little couch and, like, her little, like, stuff on the other side, and I was like, "Why am I not Jordan?"
Why can't I live like Jordan right now?
You know, "Why am I Madeline?" And she's
That's
Jordan.
so funny. Okay. Um, I know for sure if a kid had a Lunchable, I
What?
was like, you have made it in this world. Like,
Oh,
you
wow.
must be so rich. Like, because I remember when I was younger, like my parents would be like, "No, we have sandwiches. No, we like," and my mom
Yeah.
made me my sandwich every single day. Like, and a little embarrassing, but I don't care. I loved it. Every single day from kindergarten till I graduated high school, I had a lunch, sometimes two lunches, every single day. And I would beg for a Lunchable. Like I would be like, "Mom, like, could I please just have a Lunchable?"
Oh my gosh.
You have Lunchable money. So I thought like a Lunchable was expensive. And they are, I mean, like yeah, they are
Especially for
kind
what
of,
you get compared to, like, the
yeah,
sandwich your mom was probably making you as a gourmet, yeah.
yeah, yeah. And I had like lettuce and like
Okay, well,
tomato
wait,
and
what
everything.
Lunchable did you want the most if you were, like, gonna go
I
get your
just
Lunchable?
I just wanted the ham and cheese, like the classic
Yeah.
original Lunchable, which is not even that good. But then I remember in third grade they came out with the pizza one.
Yeah.
And then if you really, really made it, the one that had the chocolate in it, like or the Oreo or the cookie or like whatever.
Yeah.
Then I was like, dang, their
That
parents
is
spent
living.
so much money. Like,
Oh my god, what a Lunchable. Was there anything else that you, like, noticed?
I
Lunchables are money.
remember trying to think when I was in sixth grade, maybe sixth grade, and this girl, she had like a bra already.
Oh.
And so I didn't care for a bra, but my older sister did. She wanted all the boobs in the world, and I didn't even
You
care. I
guys
was
remember
like,
Dion?
yeah. Welcome back. Should we add her in? um, but she had her parents like had brought those undershirts, so
Oh,
like
yeah.
her bra like wouldn't show. And I was like, wow, she's wearing 2 shirts. Like, that's so cool. Like, she must have a lot of money because she has to wear 2 shirts every day. Like,
Wow.
she must have so much money. Like, her parents just have like her wardrobe must just be like huge because she
So
has
many shirts.
2 shirts every day. Like,
Like a little
I don't
cami, is
know.
that what you mean?
Yeah, yeah, under like I mean, I don't know if she wore it like under colored shirts, but like I know for sure like if it was like a lighter colored shirt,
Yeah.
she would wear like a little like tank top underneath that like hid her bra.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
I would always think like, dang, she must have so many of those. That's so expensive or like
By
whatever.
the
Like
way, that cami under the shirt trend that was like popular back then was like single-handedly made to destroy me. Like that just like it was like everything that was in when we were young was not made for my body type at that time. It was just
um
like, what are the
d-
most unflattering things for Madeline's silhouette? Let's make those fashionable. Jesus.
low cut jeans. Yeah, no.
I would have stepped on necks if high-rise jeans were in, and actually that's not true. I had no ass at all. I don't know what I had no business in high-rise jeans either. High school was rough. There was no way.
I wore athletic clothes a lot, like
That was kind of
almost all the
my
time.
I actually like made an effort to put in as little effort as possible. It was just like literally t-shirt, sweatpants, socks with slides, and like
Yeah.
my like messed up swim hair.
My mom always like tried to make me like do my hair and like be presentable and like even though I was wearing athletic clothes, she was like, you don't have to look like a slob or a homeless, but like
Yeah.
do your hair, fix your whatever, like
Yeah.
and I was like, I'm just trying to roll out of bed,
Yeah, that was
brush
a
my teeth and go to school. Like you're lucky. You're lucky I'm even here at school
I
right
did
now. Like
that, pretty much that, except I added one whole layer of cake foundation, one color on my whole face and eyebrows, sometimes eyelashes too. Just put it on everything because I had the worst acne of all time.
I see I never wore makeup until I got to college.
Did you have bad
Never.
acne? I would not have worn makeup if I didn't have I mean, my skin,
Freshman and sophomore year I did, but junior and senior year I didn't. I mean, if I did, it was like little tiny breakouts, but
it was
not
like
like,
I was covered. There wasn't not a piece of face that was not pimpled.
oh,
It
yeah.
was actually really humiliating. I hated it so much.
Um, we should actually have Dion in here because I'm sure she got ready
Every
every
day.
single day for school. Like
That's because she's
hair,
Regina George.
yeah, but not me. I'm just rolling out of bed. That's so funny. What was there like a video game or like if somebody played like a sport or like anything like that, like where you were like, oh, they're so cool. Like,
I just remember like when PlayStation first came out, I thought it was like the coolest. This girl that my sister and I were friends with, she was like really cool, very rich girl vibes too, and just really cool. She's still cool. But she
girl, follow me.
she
Like for a light.
she she had a PlayStation and they had Frogger, and that was just like life to me. I was like, I need a PlayStation and I need Frogger. And
You
I got
get
it for
it?
Christmas.
Oh,
Yeah.
you did?
Yeah.
My parents never bought us video games. They bought Gabe. I don't know why. Whatever. Okay.
What about you? Did you have like a sport or a game or something that you thought was like the most badass?
Yeah, yeah. Field hockey. I always wanted to play field hockey.
You should still play field hockey. You would murk people.
It was the same time as volleyball, and I was really good at volleyball. I almost went to college for volleyball.
Wow.
I was really good at volleyball, and so it was the same time as volleyball. So I was already committed to volleyball, so I couldn't play field hockey. That and lacrosse, but lacrosse was during softball season, so like I was, yeah,
Wow. There's like an alternate universe somewhere where there's a Laura that played field hockey and
and
lacrosse.
lacrosse, yeah, yeah. But I remember in high school, I was like, man, these girls are so cool, like
Yeah.
so cool. But I never got to play. What about was there a present that you thought was like so much money and then like you got older and you're like it was only like $20 and I thought it was
Nothing that like sticks out right away, but I have a follow-up question for you. But first, I want you to answer your own question.
um do you remember Gabe's gonna know exactly what I'm talking about. You'll know too, but Gabe's gonna for sure remember this because this was like such a significant thing. But remember those chokers? I actually have one in my room because my niece gave it to me. But they were like those little, and
The
there was
like
like
stretchy ones
uh-huh.
with like the
So
tattoo vibe.
uh-huh. Yep. So
The
I like
sex
wanted one.
chokers.
Yeah, so I wanted one when I was younger, and I like
They're
begged
cool.
begged my mom, and my mom got me one for my birthday. And I was like, "Oh my gosh, she must have spent thousands of dollars on this." And then like I got older and I was like, "Dude, these are like 25 cents." Like I thought my mom like broke,
The
like
bank
yeah, to buy these like chokers that were not even
to make your
there.
birthday special. She sold her kidney to afford these chokers.
Just crazy like how you don't have any concept of like
I know, of anything. It's just like,
anything. Yeah.
just compare everything to your own experience.
Yeah, and I was like, "Dang." Well, and like one of the girls at my school that was like super popular and like rich had it, and so I was like, "Dang, like
Must be po
the
yeah.
yeah, must be like must be expensive. Like she's so popular." Like, wow, embarrassing.
What about, like, was there ever, like, a Christmas present or a birthday present that you got that was just, like, the most magical gift of your life that you still remember, like, getting and being like, "Oh my god, I can't believe I got this."
Um,
Like, what
no.
about Christmas morning? Like, describe, like, what Christmas morning was like when you were a kid in the Lopez house.
So when we were younger, we would get like presents, but they were all like just like toys or
Yeah,
whatever. Um, and then when we got like a little bit older, it was like just usually like clothes or we would like wake up and like go. And when we got older, the younger kids, my brother, and my little sister, were still like into toys, so they got like majority of
okay,
like
right.
everything. Um, but when like we got like I want to say like when I got into high school, like we stopped getting like gifts and stuff. And I remember my older sister would be like so upset about it and be like, "This is Christmas. Like we're supposed to open gifts on Christmas, like whatever." And I was like cool with it. Like I was like, "Yeah,
Yeah,
I actually freaking hate this. Like I
I
hate
know.
opening these gifts.
I
Like I
kinda do
hate
too.
being on the spotlight, like
I
opening this
know.
gift, and now I have to be like, "Oh, thank you," or like,
I
"Thank you,
know.
Santa." Like,
Oh my god, I know.
so I
But I
didn't
remember,
really.
like, one Christmas, like, when we were little, it was so magical when we all got an American Girl doll. Do you remember those?
Oh, yep,
It was
yep.
just, like, such a
They're
magic
expensive.
moment. I
Those
know.
are expensive.
They were expensive. They were, and it was so cool. Like, my mom, it was such a magic moment. Like, my mom, Santa, had him, like, set up on the, like, couch, and, like, we came out, and, like, there are the American Girl dolls we wanted so bad. Like, I'll never forget how magical that, like, gift was.
I got rollerblades once, and those were pretty magical.
That is fun. Yeah.
I remember my cousin got laser tag, so we had to wear like you put it on like it's like a
A
thing on your
button.
chest.
Yeah.
And you have like straps, and then you like hook yourself in, and there's one in the front and one in the back. And I remember it had 4 or 6, and we played that thing all night. It was the
Oh,
coolest,
man. How
coolest.
fun.
Yeah, it wasn't even my gift, but it was his, and we all played it, and it was so much fun. I remember thinking like, "Wow, this is like the best Christmas." We stayed up late, and like
Yeah.
it's Christmas, and it was like cold outside, and our parents like let us like stay outside because we never came in. We were just having so much fun playing
Running
that.
around. Yeah.
That they were just like, "Yeah, cool, stay outside. Like,
Yeah.
don't bother us. Like, whatever."
That's a fun memory.
Yeah, and I remember we were like all outside playing, and like if you got shot, it would like make a noise and like light up, and it was that was cool, but it wasn't even my gift, so whatever.
It's still kind of a magical Christmas memory.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like, did you guys celebrate any like cool holidays when you were
I mean,
like,
like, it was just always really fun to do, like, all the Jewish holidays. We did all of the Christian holidays too. So, like, we would do Easter and Passover. It's like we had, like,
oh,
we had double holidays all the time. It was like and they're just so fun. I just like they really are different vibes. Like, like, it's the same time of year, but the Easter get together feels so different than the Passover get
yeah.
together. It's just
Did you
fun.
guys do like Easter baskets and stuff?
Yeah. Actually, there was one year that Valerie and I, like, swore, I might even still swear right here, that, like, we saw the Easter bunny. Okay. Like, we saw the Easter bunny. It was real. It's very real. I swear we both saw him.
Oh my gosh, what is really cool is that like the holidays are coming up, and like Arya's starting to understand a little bit more. Like last year was
Yes.
just like a complete mess. She was one, and it was like she was like having fun just like ripping the paper.
Yeah.
But now she's like
Gets
gonna
it more.
understand like a gift, or like
Mhm.
she's gonna open it and it's gonna be something that she wants. She didn't understand last year,
Yeah.
that's for sure. But like I was like telling Jen, I was like, it's so cool because she's gonna like soon it's gonna be like, oh, Santa and like the Easter Bunny and like
Yeah,
I don't know, like I just remember like all those like cool things like that. Like, oh, we gotta go to bed early so Santa can come. I remember I couldn't even sleep.
I
Like I
know.
would be like up
So
like just
excited.
yeah,
Like
and like
finally
waiting.
the day.
Or I would wake my parents up at like 6 a.m. and be like, can we open presents now? Like, please. And we would like peek into the living room and be like, what do
Yes,
we
dude.
get? Like, and we would get like cool stuff, like a bike. And also, like, how are these parents affording all
I
this stuff?
know.
Like,
I know. It's great. It's crazy.
I
But
don't
it
know,
is
like,
so it's such a fun, magical, like, thing, and I think especially for me when Valerie had kids, it, like, really like, awakened or maybe awakened for the first time a little bit in some ways for me, like, just, like, a really intense love of the holidays where it's just like what you were saying with Aria, like, when you get to experience it as an adult through a child's eyes, oh, man, just everything gets in life gets better that way.
it's also cool because um, she is like I could see her starting to understand things now.
Mhm. Yeah.
Like it's starting, things are starting to make sense now.
No,
So
she
she's
understands a
like, too much, too
lot.
much. Like her little like show she was watching the other day because like if I'm training or training a client or whatever, I put her in the gym and she like watches like an iPad or something so she doesn't move. Sometimes she joins us, but it's fine. But the little show she was watching, they were singing like Christmas songs, and she was like singing along with it, and
Yeah.
I was like, whoa, like she already understands like Christmas music. I mean, I don't know if she really does, but she was singing
He
the
knows the
song,
song,
so
yeah.
yeah. So
How
she's gonna
cool.
know like that's a Christmas song. Um, but my parents used to go all out for like all like the holidays, like Easter and
Really? Big
um
baskets and stuff?
big baskets. We would do like a Easter egg hunt. It was always like this big party, like
Yeah.
food and like just everybody like come over and like all the cousins, everybody like we would have a big old Easter egg hunt. Like actually, talk about your Easter egg hunt. Which
Well,
I
we
think
did
is so cool too. I would love that. It was all right up my alley. Dion,
it
on the
is
other
really
hand,
fun, like, I'll always remember my dad's Easter egg hunts where it would be like, we were homeschooled and, like, everything was always an educational experience with my dad, like, so it would be like, we start the Easter egg hunt and we would get, like, a clipboard and, like, a pencil and a compass, and we would get, like, our my dad would, like, tell us the first clue. It would be like, he'd hand us like a paper with a math problem. This is very much like the challenge if you've
the
ever done
challenge. I was
ICEBOX.
gonna say I'm getting ideas. My wheels are turning. This is a
And
great
so we would have
one.
to like solve the math problem or whatever, and that would be like the answer would be like, okay, that number of steps south or something, and then we'd like take our little compass and go south, and it would take us to like the skimmer basket, and then we would have to like clean the skimmer basket. That'd be like step one.
Chores.
Yeah, chores. And
Chores.
then it would underneath he would have like a little egg under the skimmer basket. So we'd open that egg up and it would be another clue, like another like word problem or science question or math problem. Solve that, get the next clue. And
How many
it's some of
eggs?
it's some of the eggs there would be like at the very end, it would be like $5 or
Wow.
$20 or but like inside the other eggs, there was nothing up until that point. It was just eggs with clues and problems
No
and chores.
candy or chocolate or anything.
At the very maybe random, like 1 or 2 with like a candy in it and a clue, probably because my mom got herself
Yeah.
involved. It was like, "Make them please."
She's like, there's just 8.
Give him a Cadbury egg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least give them what are they called? Jelly bean?
Yeah. But, I mean,
That's so
that was a
cool.
fun tradition that, like, we'll always remember all of
I'm gonna do
our
it with Aria now.
yeah.
Chores? Pick up the dog poop while you're out here.
And my dad would
Want
just be,
more
like,
eggs?
smiling and laughing, watching us clean the skimmers.
I love that. That's good.
Yeah.
Um, we would always celebrate 4th of July.
Oh, was that a big one for you guys?
I was yeah. It was like summer, we had a pool, like
Yeah.
you could see all the fireworks from our house, like the skyline of San Diego. So you could like see like fireworks and like um my dad and mom were just like they loved to just be home. So like everybody would always just like come over to our
Come
house. So
over.
like it was that was like a real and it was like big barbecue and like everybody's
All the
eating and
food, all the family.
yeah,
Yeah.
we would stay up late in the pool like all night. It was fun. Trying to think of another one.
What are
You
the
know,
firework laws like in California? Did you guys ever get, like,
no.
your own? No?
Mm-mm. So actually fireworks like really scare me because my dad when I was little, he used to tell me that I was gonna blow up if I would like go near fireworks.
That would
Yeah.
scare me too.
And then as I got older, like, well, now more modern days, social media, I've seen so many people like have posted like their brother's hand has blown up from a
I
firework
know,
or
back
like,
it up, Terry. Put it in reverse,
yes,
Terry.
yes, yes, a little like wheelchair guy. But like, so I don't like fireworks like that. And so
Yeah,
Dennis, I guess in New Orleans, they do that. But we didn't do it in San Diego. There's too many houses and cars and
yeah,
people,
yeah.
whatever. Texas, they do it too. They blow their or light their own
Like
fireworks, and I'm
fireworks.
not a fan.
Yeah,
Not, I'm just scared
they
now.
can
I'm
be scary. And if they like
traumatized.
fall over and they shoot like into people and how,
Yep. The wind,
yeah,
like I don't know. I know when I lived in Vegas, our neighbors would be blowing off these fireworks, and I swear they would just like land in our backyard or like
that
next
is
to our
scary.
tree, and I'm like, hello, hope we have fire insurance. Like, scared for my life, but all right, whatever. Um, did you when you were in high school, like, did a bunch of people drive? Like, did they have their own license or like their own cars?
I kind of remember like a few of my friends. I think by the time I was like a junior and a senior, pretty much everybody drove except me because Valerie drove. So I didn't feel any type of like, um,
Urgency to like be on your
to get
own.
my license at all. Yeah, because everywhere Valerie and I pretty much went everywhere together,
Yeah.
especially up until like senior year of high school. We did most of our things together. So I never felt like I needed to drive and then I failed my driver's license test a couple times.
A
And here
couple
we are. I'm driving
times.
just fine.
A couple times.
They didn't like me.
Had nothing to do with your driving.
The first time I failed, it was because I like didn't come to a complete stop. It was like a red light, but I was turning right.
Hold on. What? No, nobody's showing up. I thought I had a client tonight.
Oh.
That interrupted our story. Okay, anyway.
Um,
There was a red light.
yeah, and I guess you have to come to a complete stop. You can't just like kind of roll through and be like, no, nobody's coming. I'm just gonna turn right. I just like yielded instead of stopped.
Well, I do that now, but during my test, I
Yeah.
made sure all stops were happening.
I just thought I should be
Um,
real on the test. Yeah, I thought they would respect my honesty. I guess not.
yeah, real landed you into a no driver's license test.
Oh man, it was traumatizing too because I was like kind of older. I think I was like 17 because I had waited because I didn't need it.
Mhm.
I was like, wow, I'm 17. I failed this twice. Did
Did
people drive in your high school?
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And I got a car for my 16th birthday, which
Your
Ari
own
will not
car?
be getting a car. She will be walking to school. I'm just
What was your
kidding.
first car?
A Honda Accord.
Oh,
And that lasted me all the way through college. And when I got back, Gabe drove it. That thing was
was
that one
that your
lasted a long
manual?
time.
That was your stick
No,
shift?
so the
Oh,
my sister had a Ford Focus and that was manual. And then we
oh,
all learned to drive stick
on
on
that.
yeah. And I actually liked it. I mean, dr for that being I don't know, I have mixed feelings too because it definitely made me a better driver,
Yeah,
but it was also so scary being my first
I know.
car or like first like never having any driving experience and now I'm driving a manual car that like I was traumatized for like a little while. Like I was actually scared to drive because I was like if I like I don't know if something happens
It
and the
is
car's
scary.
like oh
It is. It's scary. I was scared as shit driving stick the first time by myself.
and my dad would like make me go on a hill and like put it in park. You know what else he not park but like put it in like
Stop
pull
and then
the
have to get in from a stop and first I know on a
you
hill.
know what I'll never forget what he did was he made me make the car go just by like lifting up on the clutch a little tiny bit. And then all of a sudden the car will
Yeah.
take off. But you have to
Yeah.
like find it.
Yeah.
And he made me do that on a hill. So that way I
Wow.
could find the spot and I
Yeah.
know where to like push on the gas.
Right.
So there I am, just like rolling down this
Wow.
hill a million times. I was like, please, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't
That
even want to
is
drive.
scary.
Like,
That
I
is
don't know.
scary.
But then I was really good at driving stick. But if a little like 15, 16-year-old me was like, this is too much.
I
Like,
know, but you know what my dad told me? I was probably like 18 when I actually was driving my stick shift car regularly. Um, and I was like just like everybody, it is traumatizing and it is scary and, like, it is so much harder at first, but I'll never forget my dad told me that there are idiots everywhere driving stick with no problem.
That is very true, though.
So true. That's like, you know
My
what? That is reassuring. There's lots of people way dumber than I am
That could
handling
do
this no
this, yeah.
problem.
Yeah. Well, and also what stuck with me is my mom would be like, "You'll never get stuck or trapped anywhere. Like,
That's true
you
too.
will always learn you'll know how to drive every single car." Like, and that is so true because there was a time
Yeah.
when I was in college, we were out on this dirt road just drinking it up, and I, for some reason, wasn't drinking, and I was like, "Okay, I'll drive, like, I'll drive your car or whatever." And it was a manual, and I was like, "Thank God
Yeah.
my mom taught me, like, or
And
my
I've
dad
seen,
taught
like,
me."
news stories where people will go and break into a car and then not steal it because it's manual and they don't know how.
Yeah. Yeah, Dennis knows how, but I bet you people our age, they're not a common, it was really common when I
No.
was, in high school and, like, growing up. It's not a common thing anymore, and, like,
No.
I remember thinking, like, "Wow, like, my parents are so mean for making me drive this old car." Like, it wasn't even old, it was a brand new, Ford Focus too, it was my sister's car, and I was like, "They're so mean, like, everybody else has an automatic, and I hate this." Like, I don't know,
Yep.
but now looking back, I'm like, "Well, that was so cool." Like, I kinda miss it. You still
Yeah.
drive. You still
Yeah.
drive a manual.
Yeah. I do prefer it. I just feel like it's more fun. It's way more fun.
And
Sometimes it's
and
annoying. In stop and go traffic, it's annoying, but I'm not in that very much, so
yeah, you don't live in LA. I lived in LA, and that would've been
and I don't
terrible. But
really even
also,
drive at, like, traffic times for the most part. I get away with it pretty easily.
Jake's truck is manual,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
so
we're a
cool. I
manual
don't,
family. We all like it.
is your dad's or mom's? No,
My
right?
mom's is. Yeah.
Oh, her little car. Yeah, how
Yeah.
cute. I could see it. I could see it. Is
Yeah.
Emily's little,
No.
oh,
No.
okay.
No.
And Valerie's van
Not
isn't.
the van, no. The van is for pu just luxury purposes only.
That van,
Comfort.
that van. That also, if when we were younger, if you had a minivan, I thought you had like a Bentley. Like I was like,
That's how I felt
damn,
about people with, like, big SUVs.
yeah,
I was like, "That's,
like
like,
they're
for
so
peop"
rich.
I was
Like,
like, "That's for cool families." Like, nerdy families like mine get the Sienna, and cool families get the Excursion. It's fine. One Jordan Massonary
yeah,
over there with her 2
my
bedrooms and her Excursion.
oh my gosh, it was the same girl. Wow. Oh, my mom had a Volkswagen van, like the old, the
What?
let me see if I can find a picture of it.
Please
But
find a picture of that.
and it was gold, and we had that
Oh my god.
forever. I think it's called a Vanagon, a Volkswagen Vanagon. And when she sold it, I was old, like not old, but I was definitely older, and I like cried my eyes. I
Yeah,
really thought she was
dude.
gonna give it to me, and she did not. But we got rid of it, and then they got an expedition because she had like 19 kids. So like, I'm trying to find it. She loved that thing, and it was stick too.
Oh, no way.
Yep, I'll never forget it.
Wow.
And but like that wasn't like a cool car, so like, if people had like a actual van, like a
Right.
real van,
Right.
I was like, man, they must be rich. And it was like old too. Okay, here is what it looked like. Maybe not like that. It was like this.
Bro,
I know. I was real sad when she got rid of it.
that is so amazing.
I wanted it though. I probably would have still had it. It was stick. It was cool.
I know you like Volkswagen.
Mm-hmm. I always have. Just try to get another one. But and the license plate said it was shuttle for us, but it was spelled like SHTLUS or something. I don't know, 7 letters or whatever.
Yeah.
And for the longest time, I thought it said shitless us.
For real though, you were
That
probably
I'm just like, okay. I remember I was like in middle school, or was it elementary school? I probably heard somebody say it, and then I was like, this is shitless us. Okay. Shuttle, or was it shuttle
us.
for us? shitless for us. It was maybe the shuttle for us. I should ask her. She's home. But yeah, that was I'm trying to think of what other things I thought were really cool when I was younger. I had a pool and you had a pool too, so it wasn't like
Yeah.
if somebody had a pool, it was like, well, I remember if they had a jacuzzi though,
I
I
was
was like,
just about to say if they had a hot tub, diving
yeah,
board.
I had a diving board and I broke it. But that's a story for another time.
Oh God.
And we were like always, I remember we would I was like in high school and my parents would be like, you're not allowed in the pool when we're not there, which is like, okay, rightfully so. Like so much could go
Right.
wrong. And we would sneak in the pool and I remember we would be like, don't get out and make like watermarks so they could
Your mom is
see.
gonna go too. She'll see it.
Yeah. And they would, because there's no way you could hide that. You can't hide the water from getting out of the pool. Like, but we would try it. We would be like, okay, hand me the towel, like try to like dry
Yeah, that's
off.
gonna be
And then
Aria, dude, one day.
it was all Dion. I blame it on Dion. I was a really good kid. I never did stuff like that. What else did we have? That was what else did Jordan have?
Jordan had it all, man. Jordan literally had it all. And she was the only girl. She was like a super girly girl. Jordan just like kind of knew what was cool. She always had like a little purse and like a little look, and Jordan was just it. I loved playing Office with Jordan. It was my favorite thing to do. I used to get ASMR from Jordan playing Office.
Really?
Yeah.
That's funny. We used to play school and office, and we used to play like did you ever play like the checkout where you like check
Oh yeah, we
like
love checkout.
yeah, yeah.
We would like
Yeah.
go shopping in like the room and like just pick out a couple
I
things
think
like all
yeah. And then we'd be like that was $75 like
yeah. Oh
pretending
my
to type
gosh.
on like a keyboard or something like
Or
all
did you ever like submit your like stuffed animals into like the hospital? Like doctor?
no
Oh.
but but well, Peyton, Penelope, my nieces, they would like when they come here. Penelope was just recently playing like hotel check-in, and she worked at a spa, and so she'd be
Oh.
like, "You're here for your massage appointment?" Yeah, and I'd be like, "Oh yeah, yeah, massage it up," like, and then I would never get my massage because it was all a
Just the
lie.
front desk. Yeah.
And she would like pretend and she'd like grab the phone and be like, "She'll be right with you."
I love those games. I love those games. I could play games like that all day.
I used to play school. That was my favorite one, was to play school. Um, I remember also thinking like families that went on vacation together. I was like,
Yeah.
wow,
Oh, you want to
this,
know? I have another good one. Families who ordered like appetizers or desserts or soda,
oh,
rich.
at a restaurant. Yeah, dude, we weren't allowed to
Rich.
order any of that.
We would go to a restaurant one time
A
a
year.
year and we weren't allowed to order shit.
Same. My mom would be like, everybody's getting water. Don't even ask. Like before we even get out of the car,
Yeah.
everybody's getting water. Don't even ask. Do not make a face or
Families
you won't
getting
even get
together.
water.
Wow.
That's so funny. Also, does anybody remember when McDonald's came out with like the bucket of fries?
No.
They had a bucket of fries. Okay, long story short, it was just a cup of fries.
Oh,
Yeah, but nobody remembers that except for people that lived in San Diego because I don't, maybe it was only a San Diego thing, but I
maybe.
swore it was like an all over thing. But it was really cool because my mom would be like, we would go on, they would have 29-cent hamburger night and 39-cent cheeseburger night. So she would go to McDonald's and she'd get a ton of whatever it was, burgers or cheeseburgers. And then she would be like, okay, 4 buckets of fries. And there's 4 kids. So here we are thinking like we're each getting our own
Yeah.
bucket. Like,
Yeah.
wow, like my mom's so cool. Like, this is great. And then little did we know, like her and my dad got their own buckets, and like us 4 kids had to share between the other two. And like it was a big old fight, but we couldn't complain because if we did, we would get nothing. So it was fine. But I remember like
Your favorite
McDonald's.
fast Was that your favorite fast food?
McDonald's. And we used to eat Taco Bell a lot too because Taco Bell was really inexpensive.
Yeah.
They used to have burritos for I think it was like 59 cents, just like a burrito, like
Yeah.
a and my parents would be like, "Okay, we'll go to Taco Bell. Like we're only getting burritos or soft tacos or regular tacos. I think those were like 49 cents.
Yeah.
I don't remember, but and it would be just like this plain burrito and I still love them to this. I mean, I haven't had Taco Bell in a long time, but that was we would go either Taco Bell or McDonald's, and then Jack in the Box never had any like deals or anything except for
Yeah,
the two tacos for $1,
right.
and that was like we would be over that in like 2 seconds. But it was either Taco Bell or McDonald's, and those were like the like go tos. But what was your guys's fast food?
I mean, as a family, I don't like, I guess McDonald's, that's like the one that I like kind of remember. I actually remember my big McDonald's memory is that it was Valerie's birthday. I think she was turning 11. And we were in the McDonald's drive-through on our way to our friend Julia's house. My mom was going to take us and drop us off because my dad had gone climbing the night before and hadn't come back and we hadn't heard anything. Yeah. And so my mom was probably like freaking out on the inside, but she was like playing it so cool. Took us to McDonald's,
Yeah.
took us to Julia's so she could like go and call search and rescue at the house and like freak out without us there. Yeah. And then search and rescue found my dad and said, "Do you need a ride? Like, do you need help?" And he said no.
What was he doing? Just
Finishing
hanging
the
out.
climb, I guess. I don't know. Like, so, like sometimes it happens, shit goes sideways and they had to like sleep at the top of the mountain and yeah.
Oh my God, I imagine like,
I
but
know my
I
mom is I'm impressed with my mom because my dad definitely has she's earned her like stars. Keep
oh
playing it
my
cool with him.
gosh, dude, I'm like I can't even imagine. Like, speaking of, this is off topic. Has anybody watched from scratch?
No.
Okay, well, I'm on episode. I just finished episode 5, I think, and don't watch it.
What is it about?
Well, I don't want to ruin it, but it's like a love story, and then it goes like
South.
it's sad.
Is it a true story?
No, but it's like one of those
Is it
things.
a
It's like
series?
it's on Netflix, and it's like I
Okay.
think it says limited series. So it's like eight
Okay.
episodes, maybe. Like
Okay.
a lot of people had said to watch it. Dion was like, "Oh my gosh, it's the best show ever. You should watch it." Blah blah. So I was like, "Okay," and then I started it, and now I'm like, I don't know. I have to finish it before I finish giving my opinions on it. But
Okay, wait. What is it's but it's making you sad?
yeah, and it's like one of those ones where it's making me so it's like can be real that it makes my stomach
Yeah.
hurt. So I have to
Yeah.
like I had to pause it and like walk away because I can't. I could almost feel what it would feel like to be that person, like
Oof.
to be the actress in it. It's
Yeah.
Zoe.
Yeah.
Zoe. She's in Colombiana. What's her last name?
I don't know Colombiana, but is it Zoe Deschanel?
No.
Zoe Saldana?
Yeah. 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 Her. She's the actress, and she just I can like feel like she just
Yeah.
does a good job because I can like
Yeah.
feel it,
Yeah.
and it was making my stomach hurt today, just like even
Oh,
thinking of like going through what she's going through. And I was just like, I have to pause this and like go do the laundry or walk away or I don't know, something, but I cannot sit here any longer and watch this. I have to walk away. And that doesn't happen to me often because I could usually like not have,
separate. Yeah.
yeah, but this one got me and I was not expecting it. And Dion's a liar. That's all I'm going to say
Okay,
about
I'll
that.
have to look this up. It's called From Scratch.
Yeah. And
Okay.
they do like it's Italian, so they speak a lot of Italian in it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay,
Have
well,
you
that actually reminded me. I feel like this is a good place to pivot from our fabulous childhood conversation to we could finish our hot take this time could be finishing our Killer Sally
Killer
conversation.
Sally?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, you finished it?
I finished it
Okay.
and I have a hot take about it.
Okay.
But I feel
Let's
like
hear it.
okay. Well,
Oh.
here's what it is. Here's what it really is, and it is sad. Um, but to me, the sad part isn't that like she wasn't making as much money as what's his name as a bodybuilder, like because most bodybuilders aren't making very much money doing that. Like you have
Right.
to get super lucky to be the one who's going to be,
You have to be the top.
yeah. So, but what that story really is a very, very sad story about like trauma and abuse and about how like this little girl, Sally, who was abused as a kid and was like conditioned to like kind of feel like the people that love her and care for her are the people who are like putting her in
Gonna
harm's way and being
hmm
mean to her, right? And so her relationship with what was his name, Ray?
Yeah.
Essentially, he was her pimp and she was his hoe, and she hoed herself out literally wrestling sexually with these dudes, which whatever, do what you gotta do, like, I'm not judging her for that, but I am saying she then took that money, manipulated by Ray maybe, to spend how many,
Yeah.
20,000, $30,000 on his steroids or whatever, and then once he got what he needed and sucked her dry from that, he discarded her and was off with his next hoe, and she just couldn't handle it, and I don't
Um,
blame her, but
so
that's
I
essentially
find
what
it,
it is.
yeah. So I find it very, 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 so I watch a lot of true crime. Um, I also think that her defense attorney should not have let her take the stand. Like he should have just said no. Like I know she wanted to, but at some point you have to be like, no. Like,
No, why did she do such a bad job on stand too? Like,
and also like why, well they kind of explained like, okay, here's this like battered woman, and so like she
right,
kind of went into like military mode where it's like I have to
right,
disassociate those feelings, and now
right,
I'm just like stone cold,
right.
which did not benefit her at all. But the not the defense, what's the other one? Not the defense team.
Prosecution?
They knew that about her. Like they knew she was in the middle. They did the research and they did
Right.
a very good job. Her defense attorney should not have let her, like I know a lot of people are like,
Yeah,
let me take the stand, let me take the stand. He should have said no. Like I don't know why he said yes. Like he should have
that's a
just
good point.
continued to say no. Like what planet did you say, okay, yeah, this
Yeah,
is a
that
good.
was, I think, and the other thing that really, kind of I didn't sit well with me was that the kids didn't ever get to, like, because for me watching it, they were the most compelling and, like, convincing, where it was like,
And also like kids, I know kids do sometimes lie or fabricate stories. Like I'm not saying kids
not like
are,
that.
no, and their description was very detailed and accurate, and even from the night of being interviewed to like when she did go on stand and had that breakdown, it was the same. And I know like it was a year or so later, so like it's, there's
Yeah,
some truth to this, and like
yeah.
it is very accurate. um I also think like you said, she was just so abused from such a young age, and like it was very sad. I was very sad by it. um but I also think, had she done better in like the bodybuilding world, would he had continued to stay?
Like, if
Or
she
would
had
it,
been as successful or more successful than he was,
mhm, do you think he would have stayed? Because my whole thing is like he was able to just discard her because he was done, and he was going to go out with his like new girlfriend,
mhm,
whatever, because he was done with her. He got, the money from her, whatever, and he was going to
right.
go now with this new girl. But if she was as successful as him allegedly was, um would he have stayed? Would he had, or would he it made matters worse on the home front of
To be
like
honest,
abusiveness?
I don't think it would have affected really anything about it. Like, my impression of it was that, like, I think that they were just, like, super toxic together. Like,
Yeah. Oh,
I think
1000%.
they just, like, kind of enabled the worst in each other. Like, she was somebody that obviously, like, triggered him a little bit too, like, because they would get into it, and he was obviously violent in his way, and she was
Yeah, she
somebody
she was
who
no
took it.
angel in the, yeah. She was no angel in the violentness.
Yeah,
Like she definitely like provoked him, and he and maybe he provoked her, whatever. It could have
yeah.
gone, they just like you said, they were so bad for each other.
I don't
Um
really think that, like, see, he's with his new girlfriend, like, her days are numbered too. It's not like he's gonna settle, this is the one, like, he's just, that's his pattern. He was also abused. They said he was sexually abused and stuff like
mhm.
that when he was a kid. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if he did the same thing to her kids, and, like, that's the thing that makes it the most sad, is it's like, I watched it and it's like, here's this woman who just got, I don't know, just got all of it so wrong, just got everything so wrong, and had so many good qualities, and, like, was so accomplished and so tough and, so
Well,
driven.
and what made me mad too is it was like, and I know like the media, like I know because I listen to true crime all the time, and I listen to like, you know cases or whatever. So I know the media does have a lot to do with it and play a lot into it, but it was like, oh, this woman who's not really womanly. is
Yeah.
claiming she's a battered woman.
Yeah.
Like, I
It
was like, yes, she is.
yeah,
Like,
especially, like, compared
to a
she's a big
man.
woman, right? Like, she's obviously a very tough, strong, large woman who was absolutely dwarfed by Ray. Like,
Oh yeah. Even though
he
she
could
was
have
big, he still trumped her. Like,
he yeah. She couldn't budge him. He could have put her out flat with one good hit.
punch.
Like,
Yeah.
it's not the same. I agree. Yeah, that part pissed me off too.
And I was like, I mean, I don't know. Like, I can't, in my opinion, like she obviously like shot and killed him. I don't know, like the way that and the way she like allegedly
Yeah.
lied and like the
So okay, so do you think it was self-defense?
I think initially yes, but then she did go back and reload the gun and like so
I think
that
she was
part,
planning to kill him the whole time.
yeah, you think
Yeah.
so? Um
Because that's honestly some shit that, like, if I were completely unhinged with a lot of trauma and steroids and, like, every disadvantage, that's some shit I would do. Yeah, you think that I'm gonna pay $30,000 and, like, pimp myself out so that you can run off with what's her name? Little Juanita? No, like, you'll die first. You will die first, and I'll shoot you
yeah.
twice. I would do that.
Um I I do think like I said, I think he like definitely choked her because the kid
Yeah.
said. So if
Yeah.
she really was planning on shooting him the whole time, why didn't she just shoot him
That's
before that
true.
happened?
Okay. Fair.
That's my
True.
argument there.
That's true.
But then she went back in the room, reloaded the gun, and then went back and shot him at a higher angle because they said if she would have shot him from the ground, the blood splatter would have been different
Yeah.
or whatever they had said. Um, so I don't think initially it was planned. I think she might have thought like in her head, like at some point I'm gonna it's gonna come to this,
I have
right?
to
Like
go back and watch too because I remember there was, like, a part in that episode where they were talking about, like, the actual murder where the daughter I think it was the daughter was saying that, like, she was in the room when Ray got back and, like, something about the vibe was just off. It was, like,
off.
almost like she could, like, smell it in the air that, like, there was somebody was about to die. Like, that kind of is what made me
Well,
feel
so
like
the that guy that was his friend left to go get food,
yeah.
and he said that he was gonna break up with her that night. So, like,
Mm.
he said that he thinks that, Sally, like, already had some sense of, like, getting broken up with. Like, she already
Oh,
knew, like, something was going on. Like, he was out with his girlfriend. She
right,
kinda had, like, a feeling like, and then probably the daughter, like, felt the tension and, like, felt all like something was off, obviously. Like, the dad was with the girlfriend. He comes
right.
home, and now he's choking my mom. Like,
I know, and
okay,
that's the thing, like, when, like, I think it was the night it happened when they were interviewing the kids in the you could see, like, the, interrogation footage,
uh-huh,
and the kids are in there, and it's like, the way they were acting there, like, so authentic, like you were saying. Kids don't lie about that. Like, kids would not
make that up.
fabricate that in that way at that age, I don't think. Like, it was just too real.
Yeah, and what makes me like I said, I don't think she planned. I think in the back of her mind, she was probably like, if he like if he attacks me or whatever again or comes at me, like, yeah, I'm gonna kill him. Like, I'm the only way out of this is for one of us to die, and
Yeah,
it's not gonna be me. I'm gonna kill him. I
right.
don't think she went into it planning she was gonna kill him, but I do think she got choked, somehow got away, got the gun, killed him,
Yeah,
or shot him, and then went back and got the other one and was now she's pissed. Like, now she's like,
right.
now I'm intentionally trying to kill you because the first one was like a self-defense, okay? The second one was, all right, now I'm like, you're done. What makes me so sad though is like the son.
I know.
He ends up like having like drug problems and like PTSD from like he joined the military and like went to Iraq and all that. Like, he has like, yeah, that made me so sad for him. Um and good looking kid too.
I
Like,
know. Well, and that's what I'm saying too, like, that type of abuse, just repeats itself. Like, I would bet lots of money that I don't have that that Ray sexually abused the son the same way that he was sexually abused. There's just no doubt in my mind.
and the son probably doesn't want to come out and say it because he's
And
embarrassed.
that's definitely part of why the son is dealing with those type of issues, like, later, and they both, the son and the daughter, witnessed so much violence, and like the scene of Ray's murder was sounded really gruesome, and they were both
They
there
had
for
to like
that. And
walk through that, and like the daughter like walked out of the room, like, and you're in those very impressionable like years. They were so
yeah,
young when
yeah,
all that like happened. I don't remember their exact age, but I don't know. I just listened to the 911 call and I was like,
I know.
can't even. What do you think about her like being out now and
I mean, I think it's fine. I guess I don't really know. I don't think that she would do it again. I feel like justice was kind of served, like in this instance. Like, okay, she did kind of
did
murder
her
him, and
time
she
and
did kind of do her time. And it's sad that the kids didn't have a mom, but the damage was done. Like, even as a mom, she wasn't protecting those kids from any of the stuff that mom should be protecting kids from.
it's so hard too because I like you said like her cycle of abuse to this was like she thought like this was like a normal thing.
Yeah.
Like
She even said it stuck with me. I think she was talking about the first time she saw Ray. And she said that this guy has an attitude. This guy's mean. This guy hates everybody. I'm going to make him like me. And it's like, whoa, do you hear
yeah.
yourself, lady? You sound abused. Like, you
Yeah, well,
find the
and
guy
like
that doesn't like that's like that. You sound like you're talking about your dad right now. Like, it's like if
yeah,
she can make Ray like her, then maybe she's, it's like those daddy issues. They go back. They go back.
yeah. They do. I just the whole thing. I thought it was cool that she like got remarried and did you see when they were like interviewing and they were like, yeah, like his friends or whatever were saying like, you better watch you better watch it.
I think
I
I
was
missed
like,
like
oh
the
my
like the
God.
last 5 or 10 minutes of the episode, so I may have missed that part of the
Yeah,
last.
they just like get married, but I think it was him. They interviewed him, or maybe it was her talking, but they were like, yeah, his friends were like kind of weary. Like, I'm like, yeah, I mean, I would like, I don't know, but also she seemed just different. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know, and I just think like a young mom, steroid induced, like all this stuff. Your husband's cheating
With
on
never
you.
in her life did she ever have real support. Like,
Yeah, and that is you have been brought to that type of insanity to kill your
yeah,
husband. Like it's so sad because like they said, like not only did they lose their dad figure at the time, even though he was not a very good dad, they lost their mom and
yeah,
so much. And she said, she's like, I lost time of their proms and their graduation and like birthdays. Like I can never get that time back. And I think it's cool that they still talk to her.
yeah.
I glad they still provide that support for her, but it's just the whole that was really sad.
It is sad. There's just like no winners in that story.
Yeah.
And I thought that she was like I thought she was actually quite like alluring in her own way with her like look and her like wrestling and her like I don't know, she had like a lot of
Charisma.
yes, yes.
Yeah, she did. Like when they play her videos back, I would be like, dude, she just looks like she works. Like this
Yeah.
is a workhorse. Like, okay. And then when she said she like went and like, started making money this other way with these like wrestling these guys or whatever, and I'm like she was the OnlyFans before the
Oh
OnlyFans.
yeah.
Like
Oh yeah.
she was onto something here. Like,
Oh yeah.
and so I don't know. I thought it was crazy how like they didn't turn on her though. And she says that she's like they didn't turn on me, but like the whole like bodybuilding community turned on me.
Yeah.
But like these guys who they were calling, I forgot what were they calling them?
I forget too, but
Schmoes?
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and she's like these guys who they called schmoes or whatever didn't turn on me and whatever. And I was like, it's just so crazy, like that whole like lifestyle and to be and the timing of it too. This is the 90s.
Yeah.
Just so crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, it was definitely worth the watch for a fun little 3 episode journey.
Uh-huh.
Fully recommend Killer Sally if you haven't watched it already. And otherwise, I'm pretty sure that's all she wrote for today. That was another fabulous episode.
Yeah.
Stay tuned for the next ones. And until then, you are not hungry, you're bored. Close the fridge.
Close the fridge.